A real chance when they go into that full-time environment. They keep the majority of the squad playing and training every day together, and it's a very good side when you look through it now, even with the additions that they'll get next year.
And so do Featherstone as well. Like we're guilty of talking up Leigh because we watched them really take Leeds Rhinos close, but Featherstone for the last decade have really set the benchmark for the championship side.
It's huge transformation at the Featherstone club. They're building on and off the field. League leaders for 4 consecutive seasons between 2010 and 2013. However, they won just one grand final in those 4 years, and that in itself was quite a surprise, guys.
Yeah, and I think Featherstone, the Flat Cappers is their nickname. That's the reason you see so many grandad hats on the terraces there. The passionate fans really do get behind them, but Featherstone will be aware just of how tough of a prospect this game really is. But I'm sure the Crossleys and the Jameses, Sean Pick, Lockwood and Spears are going to embrace this challenge and really look to get stuck into the opposition.
I want to spend a little bit more time talking about these two coaches. Is their first chance to coach in a grand final? Indeed, it's Leigh's first appearance in a grand final for a decade. Back in 2004, they won promotion to Super League with victory over Whitehaven. Oliver Wilkes will play in this game, also played in that game, the last game for the great Tommy Martin. Paul Rowley at Leigh Centurions, he's done a great job at building the club. Andy Hay is a different circumstance to come in. We touched on it just after the Hunslet game. But again, we'll start with Andy Hay, Barry. Give us his background and his introduction to the Featherstone club after John Bastian left.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right to reference the previous coach, because John Bastian give a nod to the young side and tried to bring younger players in. And this division is about men playing against men and being physical and making sure you win the ground, you dominate your opposition, and then you have the speed and class to capitalise on that. And Andy has brought his slant on it, and you can see by the size of Keegan Hurst, he's a big man. He's some unit.
As a player, Andy Hay, how would you describe him, and what sort of attributes did you see in him as a player that he maybe bring to a coaching environment?
As a player who was determined, he could score a try. Andy Hay, I can remember him playing on the left edge of Leeds Rhinos. Himself and Adrian Morley formed the second row partnership at the Rhinos back in those days. He began his career at Sheffield, went to Widnes after Leeds Rhinos, but he was a workman, Andy A. Scored tries, worked hard on his game and had an attention to detail, which I believe he's brought into his coaching.
But we've seen Hunslet victorious today, and they were a club that dragged themselves back up after financial difficulties thanks to their fans. Leigh Centurions are another team and a club, Terry, that have had tremendous financial difficulties, but with finishing first today, there's a pot of gold for them to spend next year in their attempt to get into Super League in 2 years' time.
And that is the big aspiration, isn't it? They've got the stadium, they've got the fans, they've got the players, they've got the winning culture.
And they seem to have the coach.
They do. As I said, 39 years of age. I'm sure that if he would have applied for some of the jobs in Super League when they've been getting rid of the coaches, I'm sure that Paul Rowley, you can see him going around addressing Michael Platt, you can see him talking to all his players. He was a player that wore his heart on his sleeve. He was a class act.
When you say addressing Michael Platt, would you imagine he will be looking for Michael Platt to talk to some of the younger members of the team? Because Michael Platt has played in plenty of big games.
Of course. Telling them when you get out here and you savour the atmosphere, you know what it's like, lads. When you come out and you hear the crowd roar, you just got to be focused on your job. What's in hand? We've got 80 minutes. It's going to be blood and guts. We still can't forget what we're playing for, and a bit of skill needs to come into it.
I also think they'll look back at that Leeds game and they'll draw on their experience. They'll look at what they did right, look at what they did wrong, and although it wasn't a final, to many of those League players it will be as good as. They made some mistakes and they'll learn from that. I don't think Featherstone have quite been in that intense battle just yet.
Okay, you both played in big games, you both played in Super League grand finals. Talk to us about the final minutes in the dressing rooms, the final words from the coach, and what maybe would be going through your own head as a player. Would you have your own routines you would need to go through?
You wouldn't change anything. You'd be focused, you'd be looking around at your teammates, you'd be going around, you'd be high-fiving each other, you'd be just saying, look, whatever we do, make sure we stick together as a unit. What makes us strong is those little things that we do. And I think, and I expect this to be an absolutely ferocious opening 15 minutes.
I'm going to repeat at the beginning of this game what I said at the last game. It's not the big plays that win big games. It's doing the fundamentals over and over again to the highest quality.
Unless it's a Thomas Cole, it'll drop goal in golden point, extra time. And not to the fans of both of these clubs as well, because they've travelled in huge numbers, and particularly the Leigh Centurions fans this year. Anytime they've had an away game, it's swelled the coffers of the opposition side.
This is the big day out in the Championship. Both sides have earned the right to be here. both sides going through it there. You can see them just a bit of contact. The next time that
pummeling, nice tight grip.
This is what they do to get ready for that battle. They all want a good shot. They all want to get stuck into the opposition. Give me that first carry. Give me that first hit.
Right, he's ready to play this, lad.
It sounds like it, yeah.
No, he's more aggressive now than he was when he was playing.
I guess it brings back memories watching this, and it is a huge game. I mean, the prize is not promotion to Super League, but having finished first and second, these two have got the treasure chest to have a real
best time of the year,
isn't it?
It's the best time of the year. You've worked tirelessly throughout the year. You heard Thomas Coyle talk about it. This is what it's about: turning up on a wet and windy Thursday night, going through those conditioning sessions, putting the hard work in the gym to get to a stage like this. Even though that lady's not looking forward to it too much, is to get to a stage like this. And we watched the grand final from the NRL this morning, many of us.
Big nod to Sam Burgess, Clyde Churchill with
and I know Sam Burgess may not be watching this, but there'll be many of his family and friends. We're in awe of Sam Burgess, wonderful ambassador and athlete.
And the South Sydney Rabbitohs, owned by Russell Crowe, win the NRL Grand Final, and our Gladiators now enter the arena here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. It's Leigh Centurions and Featherstone Rovers contesting the Championship 1 Grand Final. The guys are going to go shortly over to the commentary booth to join John Wells, and they'll be led today by Bill Arthur.
Leigh Centurions going into this game as huge favourites after a huge season, but Featherstone had 4 table-topping seasons themselves from 2010 to 2013, but they won only 1 grand final in that time, so they will know only too well just perhaps how nervous this Leigh Centurions side will feel. There are the Centurions lining up, hoping to round off what has been a great season with a grand final triumph here at Headingley Carnegie, where they have played already this season, of course, and acquitted themselves very well indeed against the Leeds Rhinos in the Challenge Cup, and came very close to eliminating the Rhinos in the Cup, and that was one of only 2 games that Leigh lost all season, beaten by Doncaster in the regular season, beaten by Leeds in the Challenge Cup here, and now looking to put Featherstone Rovers away and seal the season. Great attendance here at Headingley. Massive support for the Centurions. Great turnout for Featherstone Rovers. But what an act these two have to follow after that Oldham-Hunslet game. I wonder, John, whether this one could be as close.
I think I would put money on it being very close for a long period of time. I've got to say, yes, you would make Leigh favourites, as you say. I think they've taken over Featherstone's mantle as the team to beat in the Championship this year, and have arguably enjoyed their finest ever season in their history under the coaching and tutelage of Paul Rowley. We're not going to have to wait too much longer, though, Bill.
Rovers get the game underway. Ryan Brierley, first touch of the ball for him. And Featherstone will need to assert themselves early on here to avoid Leigh dominating them once again, as they have in 3 meetings already this season. They beat Featherstone home and away in the Championship. They beat them in the early rounds of the Challenge Cup as well. You can see why people are making Leigh such strong favourites here to complete their season on a high note. Matt Thomason is our referee this evening, rounding off proceedings here at Headingley Carnegie. It has been a great day. Lots of activity, great atmosphere as well, and a pretty good turnout too. First set of the game coming to a conclusion, and Leigh kick deep. And Will Sharp underneath it. Sharp at full-back for Featherstone. A bit of a change around under Andy Hay with Sharp at full-back and Ian Hardman in the centres. And there was a doubt about Hardman going into this game. Picked up a calf injury in training, and it was touch and go whether he would play, even to the point of maybe pulling him out in the warm-up.
If Will Sharp plays at full-back, I played with Will Sharp down in London for 2 or 3 seasons, can be inconsistent underneath the high ball. And if he's put in main charge of diffusing those high bombs, as Featherstone go to the middle of the field, then I dare say Leigh may have some fruits from the labours if they get those bombs under with plenty of pressure.
There's Featherstone in possession now with the Blackmore, that's the 5th tackle. Then back, Blackmore plays the ball, bit of a tussle after he's released it. Crossfield kick. Oof. Looked as though there might have been a bit of miscommunication in the Leigh Centurions rear guard there.
Well, both sides have completed their first set to 6. Tell you what, Featherstone are really ripping in here. And what a brilliant run from Matt James, getting behind the ruck of Leigh Centurions, just noting that there's a bit of a gap, and good take here from Ridyard.
3 tackles gone. As Ridyard, such a cog in the Leigh Centurions machine, Martin Ridyard.
You can see why they trouble sides, this Leigh Centurions. Look at the movement that they've got, the support play.
Brierley gets the pass away, and already they are threatening down that side with Higson. Comes back in field. Adam Higson, the winger.
We had a shoulder charge off the ball there. It's left Leigh player on the ground.
It's Sam Barlow, who's still getting treatment in back play as the kick is collected by Featherstone.
Well,
Barlow back on his feet.
Sorry, Bill, a good flurry of quick passes from Leigh. They found the edge. Talk about Will Sharp. He's a good returner of the ball. I think both Sharp and McNally, if the kick chase teams aren't on the metal, could break the line on first carry.
Tim Spears, the Featherstone Rovers captain, plays the ball. There's Steve Crossley signing off for Featherstone Rovers. He hopes with a grand final win before he joins Castleford Tigers in Super League on the last. Ellis plays the ball, and Gareth Moore hoists a kick. And Leigh, adventurous, bringing that ball away.
And it's only a small thing, but you talk about inches in big games. Championship rugby is played on a Sunday and played on a Sunday afternoon. It's just darkening down a little bit now, so players who are trying to catch those high kicks and trying to find them in the night air, it could be a problem, could be an issue for them.
Featherstone trying to restrict Centurions' progress, but they can't do that as Liam Kay gets away down the left-hand side. Kay has got support on the inside from Sarsfield, and Matt Sarsfield will get the first try of the game, and Leigh threatened that right from the kick collection. They were determined to cut loose, and Liam Kay did just that. And Matt Sarsfield, whose last appearance on this ground saw him involved in a real tussle with Jamie Peacock, no less, which got them both sin-binned, makes his mark again, this time with a try.
Oh, he's an enforcer, Sarsfield. But what about the speed? What about the confidence? They go blindside here. And a nice little pass out to dummy half from Penkovic. And you look at Liam Kay, he's got speed to burn. He composes himself and just passes the ball at the right time. As soon as he attracts Will Sharp, he knows that he's got Sarsfield in support.
That's the ball there. The ball from Tom Armstrong into the hands of Liam Kay. Catch and pass. He had trust in his man and his outside man. The play together. The combination's been strong all year. And Sarsfield backing up on the inside. Opens the scoring for Leigh. That looks very, very impressive, Bill.
9th try of the season for Matt Sarsfield, whose uncle Mark was a Leigh player. And that's what Leigh Centurions have been doing throughout the championship this season. That's why they finished 15 points ahead of Featherstone Rovers. As Ridyard, it's a formality in front of the posts. And Leigh ahead by 6 points to 0. Matt Sarsfield making his mark again at Headingley.
Well, he's a good player, Matt Sarsfield. Started in the Wigan Academy system. Made the short visit over to Huddersfield Giants. Hit a bit of a speed bump. And has come back to Leigh, come back to the Northwest to get his career back on track. Very physical, very aggressive. Will get stuck in, but obviously got a good engine and can score a try.
Featherstone's restart at the second attempt. And that's an ominous sign, you feel, for Featherstone, the ease with which Leigh got wide there.
Yeah, it's not the opening that they'll be after. Oh, when they run hard like that, Oliver Wilkes, and the ferocity of which Featherstone hits them with. You can just see the amount of players that Leigh are attracting when they go forward, and with that man Penkovic getting out from dummy half, he causes problems.
It was a toss-up for Paul Rowley as to who started in that hooking role. His initial inclination, he said, was to go with Bob Bezic, and he opted instead to put Sean Penkovic in from the start.
Well, they both complement each other. Again, Leigh Centurions go wide.
And again, they're causing problems. Oh, Armstrong hit the deck before Hardman could collar him. And here's Liam Kay, and Kay again making headway.
Bill, the speed of these play the balls are really hurting Featherstone.
Penkovic, little dink over the top. Sharp will collect that. Loses his footing. The evening dew setting on this Headingley-Carnegie pitch, maybe making a little bit slippery.
That's a measured end to that set of 6 from Leigh Centurions. A nice little kick over the top, pinning Featherstone in the corner so they can ramp up and start putting some shots on, just like Sam Barlow did on that occasion.
Now Featherstone have to try and bring this ball from deep. The Rovers fans didn't like that challenge on James Lockwood.
Well, Michael Platt looks like he's on a mission. Playing in the right centre, he's chasing all over the park at the minute.
Kick collected on his own 20 by Liam Kay.
They've got to win these early couple of plays. This is where the momentum's coming from Leigh Centurions, because they're winning tackle 1, tackle 2, which makes it easier for some of the bigger lads who follow up then.
Sarsfield just inside his own half as he plays that ball. Jake Emmett just celebrated his birthday yesterday. 26 he was. Had a quiet night, he tells me, in readiness for this one. I'm not so sure if they're winners again tonight, it'll be quiet. Belated birthday celebration for the Welsh international. Ridyard. Here he is once more. Jake Emmett, former St Helens player. That's the 5th tackle. Ridyard, plenty of time to put the kick in. Oh, look at Briley coming from nowhere, but Featherstone have seen enough of Leigh Centurions to be alert to that. Gareth Moore was, and his opposite number literally is closed out there.
Well, you said that Ryan Briley's coming from nowhere, but those two have an intellect and a telepathy born out of plenty of games together, where one kicks, the other one will follow, because they've done it countless amount of times.
Scruffy from Featherstone there. Lucky to get away with that one, just flicked off the shins.
Certainly the crisper play is coming from the Leigh side at the moment. Very confident with ball in hand. The combination between the young player of the year and the championship player of the year. Superb, very crisp, very confident. A good kick return here from the Centurions, establishing some dominance early on.
Hickson trying to get away. Featherstone really do seem to have their work cut out to just suppress this effervescent Leigh Centurions attack. Centurions buzzing around, always looking for an option.
Well, they've turned up to play. Again, you can see when Sam Barlow's going at the line, Oliver Wilkes is going with him because he knows that his teammate can offload the ball. The options that they have is what's causing the problems.
Here's Ridyard, wrestled to the ground by Lockwood. That's the penalty.
Got his arm tangled in there, I think, Lockwood. In the process of flipping him onto the floor, gets his arm in between the ball and the chest. I think that's played for and got by Ridyard. But Featherstone are going to get some possession. The momentum is all with Leigh. It's what happens when Featherstone get that possession, get that position. It's all Leigh at the minute, though.
It is once again Leigh Centurions with Haggerty. Plays the ball. Penkovic. Seem to be people moving all around him in red and white. Barlow now, straight forward, no nonsense approach from Barlow. Then the offload, doesn't find the target, and a roar of relief more than anything as Sean Pick picks up the loose ball for the Featherstone side. Here's Sharp, can he gain him some ground?
Well, he got the call from Penkovic, he gets his arm free again. The dangerous play from Barlow, but in good field position, and that's where they will take the chances. Good defence.
Hickson and Briley very strong in the tackle there for the Leigh Centurions. And Featherstone, 4 tackles gone this set of 6 and struggling to get out of their own half. Well, they're not even going to get out of their own 40.
Well, they need field position, Bill. They probably need to try and force an error up here. They need to take some energy away from Leigh, because at the minute, he seemed to be the team just doing what they want.
Leigh are doing what they want again with Armstrong.
Well, they worked that well. They managed to find a space and create an extra number.
And already they're threatening. Finding territory pretty easy to come by so far, the Centurions. As Jake Emmett plays the ball. Briley finds Barlow. Penkovic strolls into position. And here's Ridyard. Little step from Ridyard, but Featherstone don't allow him to make any progress. Ellis in with the tackle, that's the 5th. Penkovic down the short side, stabs the kick in, Sharp gathers. And then gets away from the cover and looks for some free space, Will Sharp. That's the threat he brings from full back.
Well, that's brilliant play from Will Sharp. First of all, to get in the good position to catch the ball, but then as soon as he catches it, he knows that his job's not done, and he's got to get the ball up the other end of the pitch as quick as he can.
Referee Matt Thomason saying Featherstone play the ball again.
Nice off forward.
Gets the pass away to Ellis. Ellis has got support from Moore. Moore down the middle. Look at the cover. Great cover from McNally.
Oh, he's dropped it. Such a shame for Gareth Moore. Wonderful break from a fantastic offload. And Leigh Centurions do enough to get back there. And what a surprise, Sam Barlow. I've said it before about his fuse. It's that short. It's inverted.
Matt Thomason pointing out that he and Sam Barlow have seen a lot of each other in recent weeks. Matt Thomason refereeing Centurions games. Here's the break.
And that just shows that you can't switch off from Featherstone. Both sides have the ability to offload the ball, even when there's numbers in and you think that you're going to take the player to ground. And what an effort from Ryan Briley to get back, prevent that try. Gareth Moore just losing that ball. Was
a superb effort from Briley. He's more well known, and we all know him as an attacking half, a very creative player in his own right, bags of tries to his name. But I think that's the side of the game, particularly if they're aiming up and they're looking at life, perhaps in Super League in the not too distant future. That'll tick an awful lot of boxes for Paul Rowley as coach. I'll be very pleased to see that side of his game developed.
That will encourage Featherstone Rovers. First real dent they've made in the Centurions cover. But the Centurions escape there. Kick downfield, returned by Featherstone's Nigerian-born fullback, Will Sharp.
Well, I think I detect when Leigh are kicking long, and it's Will Sharp from Featherstone who's picking it up. I think they're just slowing the kick chase down, just a touch, so that they've got an intact, maybe 9-man kick chase team. So you might just watch out for that.
That'll change, the complexion that'll change completely if they do get him, if they do get Will Sharp underneath a high ball. If they get close enough to that Featherstone line, expect a big chase, because he can be vulnerable. As good as he is on those kick returns with ball in hand, the ball in the air is a different story.
Chris Anakin off the bench and roaring into action there. Kick hoisted out wide. Oh, it's bounced up. It's a Featherstone Rovers knock-on, says referee Thomason. That'll be the turnover.
But he's being tackled in the air.
Well, he never had possession of the ball, so he wasn't tackled in the air. But I think the knock-on comes first from Featherstone, so I think the decision's right to come away.
Leigh Centurions leading in this championship grand final 6 points to 0. And Penkovic slicing them open up the middle. Support from Ridyard. McNally will beat the cover. Hardman can't get there. And Greg McNally in the corner. And from one end of the ground to the other, Centurions strike. And Greg McNally claims his 22nd try of the season. But Sean Penkovic had a lot to do with that, with his slicing break up the middle of the field.
Well, all the talk in the build-up to this game from the Featherstone camp will been about what Bob Bezic does, what Sean Penkovic does when they have the ball, when they get that quick play of the ball. They won't waste any time. They'll just get the ball from dummy half and they'll go. And this is exactly what Sean Penkovic does. He just pumps that ball. Tim Spears finds himself planted. And then the confidence from the Leigh Centurions. The little flick pass. I think it was from Ridyard. And then you've got Greg McNally pushing up hard. But this is the danger. The pump there, you can see Tim Spears, who's the captain, the number 12 for Featherstone, plants his feet. As soon as he does that, they beat.
Yeah, it's a shame for Tim Spears. He's sat in the armchair, planted, knees bent. He assumes that Steve Crossley, who's chasing from marker, will make that tackle. Just can't make the space up. And if Featherstone need any reminding of how fast, how lethal, how ruthless this Leigh side can be, then there it is.
Greg McNally was a star on Sky Sports 6 years ago it was, when he scored a hat-trick on his Whitehaven debut against Salford in an upset win at the recreation ground. Well, his career never really hit the heights that some had expected, but still a very pacey, talented fullback. Had a spell in Super League with Huddersfield, made one Super League appearance, but looks very much at home in this Centurion side. And what about that from the sidelines from Ridyard? 12-0. The scoreline. Ridyard with his 161st successful kick of the season.
What about that for a pass as well? You talk about telepathy, Faz. Those two played together and excelled together in Ridyard and Brealey, and then Greg McNally smart enough to back those two up. He knows there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Just an early indication as well of the importance of that work around the ruck. We saw an earlier break from Andy Ellis, live wire hooker for the Featherstone Rovers, and then returned and replied in kind by Sean Penkovic. It's a massive part of our modern game.
So Leigh 12-0 up after 18.5 minutes here at Headingley Carnegie, and Featherstone, well, they've had one threatening moment in this game. Otherwise they've spent virtually the rest of the game so far on the back foot, trying to contain this rampant Centurion side. Emmett again taking the ball in, a willing worker. Here's Sam Barlow.
Well, they're in total control again. Sean Penkovic out to dummy half on the last play.
Kicking down the line. Don't know whether he was hoping that that might turn into a bit more of a chase for his wide players, but it's a good enough kick.
That's game management. Sean Penkovic, quick play of the ball, he gets out from dummy half, and it's his speed of thought and speed to get out from dummy half and put that kick in. He's so intelligent. We saw in the build-up to that try, which Greg McNally scored. That's the brain trust of Penkovic, of Brealey, of Ridyard. They all touched that ball. Four very dangerous players.
Here's Will Sharp for Featherstone Rovers. Grand final day here at Headingley, but grand final day at Old Trafford still to come. What a game this should be. St Helens against the Wigan Warriors. Saturday, 5 o'clock. Sky Sports 1 for the culmination of this Super League season. And it could end with a fantastic game between those two. Good run from Chris Anakin, the former Wakefield man. Plays the ball. Ellis, likewise, once a Wakefield, but a stray pass from him. Well retrieved. Kane it was who managed to gather that ball. And the kick drilled down the line by Gareth Moore.
I like Ridyard's decision-making there. He had an opportunity when that ball went to ground to try and dive on it and retrieve it for the Centurions. He let Andy Kane take the tackle, squashed any momentum, forced Featherstone into a kick to touch. The Rovers, they need to invest a little more time around that ruck, invest in trying to get the quick play the balls against this big, combative Leigh pack. And if they do that, they've got the tools there to make the breaks.
Jamie Cording in there, making the tackle, back in the side, the former Huddersfield Giant man. Only made 11 appearances for Featherstone this season, and here he is in a grand final. No Super League place at stake for the winners of this one, no promotion, but there is a great prospect of a Super League future for both of these clubs under the new structure. It comes into effect next season. That's very much Leigh Centurions' target. They've been there before, of course. 2004, they won a grand final. They're on the way to winning another one, but that's just a great intervention from Will Sharp in the nick of time. It's just maybe delayed the inevitable, because once again, Leigh cutting loose.
Well, that's excellent play, isn't it, from Will Sharp? That would have been a certain try. Puts himself in a position, he's got two men in front of him to contend with, and he stops this pass. He just does enough to put Bob Bezic off, but they've still got more possession. Leigh Centurions here, just 20 metres from the line.
And it was delaying the inevitable, goes right from the scrum. Tom Armstrong gets another Centurions try. Well, Will Sharp did his best, but that ball came out of the scrum, and the former St Helens centre was there to finish off, and Paul Rowley still sending out the instructions. What a season he's had. What is the future for the Leigh Centurions coach, I wonder? Other Super League clubs looking at his achievements this season? I wonder.
Well, the last time Tom Armstrong was on this pitch, he had to leave it through injury. There's the intervention from Will Sharp. Head and feed to the Leigh Centurions. A nice little dummy. Jason Crooks was the man that had an impossible decision to make. Do I go in and tackle Armstrong? Do I try and deal with the winger and the threat outside? The ball is always the threat. Another try to the Leigh Centurions.
He was a winner in the Championship Grand Final last season with the Sheffield Eagles, Tom Armstrong, so already it looks as though he could be on his way to back-to-back Grand Final wins, because Leigh Centurions have got a grip on this game already. Ridyard thumps home another 2 points. Leigh lead by 18 points to 0.
And the value for every single one of those 18 points, aren't they? So crisp, confident, composed. You can carry on with the superlatives. They don't look like the broken sweat yet. And the Featherstone Rovers, they're still trying to get themselves into the game, grab a foothold in the game. They need a good set here, a good defensive set, really try and restrict the metres, and it's a good start, a four-man tackle. That's shown some intent for what's to come for the rest of this set.
There must have been some effort from the Dewsbury Rams last week in the semi-final then, because they pushed Leigh all the way in that game. Made the Centurions work for their grand final place, did Glenn Morrison's side. Maybe that didn't do Featherstone any favours, because Centurions have turned up here tonight and just gone out of the blocks and disappeared so far into the distance.
Well, they know what they're up against. They know that Featherstone have all the tools in the box. They know that the likes of Andy Ellis, the likes of Jason Crooks and Will Sharp, who've got a bit of speed out wide, can cause them problems. The half-backs in Moore and Kane need decent field position, and this will not help the cause. A good set of 6, or they started the set of 6 off strong, controlling Leigh, and then giving away this penalty.
As you said it about 5 minutes ago, the speed of the play, the ball is too fast for Featherstone. They're trying to just cut corners, grab wrists, and all those levers, all those little things that Andy Hay sure wouldn't have wanted to rely upon at this point in the game. But the desperate situation that Featherstone are in, you see 3 men in the tackle. They're trying to play the pace that they're suited to.
But it's Leigh on the attack again. Oh, that ball's been dropped, and it's popped up for Featherstone Rovers and Gareth Moore. Andy Kane it is, I beg your pardon. Kane who'll play the ball, and this is an opportunity. Can they capitalise on that rare error from the Leigh Centurions?
So from a breakaway, now they find themselves with numbers in. This is Andy Kane. When he gets in good field position, He needs someone else to come up with him. So from making the break, they've just not generated any quick play the balls off the back of that. Leigh have got back very quickly.
Spend a bit of time with the ball, Tez, that's more important. Yes, they'd like to score.
They could be in here. Corning is it. Over in that far side. Penalty, all offside, says referee Thomason. And for once, Leigh are backpedaling.
I was going to say, yes, it'd be good to score, but it'd be even better to spend some time with the ball, get some energy back, get back into the rhythm of things. Kerr Haggerty, sporting a nice beard, gets ready to defend for the Centurions.
Chris Anakin again, hurling himself almost at that Centurions cover. Moore trying to wrong foot the Leigh defence, nothing doing for him. If they could get something here, that would lift the Featherstone Rovers' spirits. Here's Will Sharp. Sharp is tackled. 3 tackles gone this set of 6. Steve Crossley now. Crossley is stopped in his tracks. So they spin the ball wide. More little dummy from him, but he's cut down. Good work it was from Haggerty. Kane, crossfield kick. Sharp climbs! Sharp claims the try. What a try from Will Sharp. What a jump that was. Suspect handling. Well, the hands were rock solid there. And Andy Hay has something to cling on to there. And Will Sharp and Featherstone Rovers respond.
It was the strangest part of his game when he was playing at the top level in Super League, as I say, with London and later with Hull. It was ultimately that his hands that let him down, and coming down to championship level and gaining some confidence, playing on a week-to-week basis. He obviously felt very, very keen on that himself. Superb take, Baz.
Well, the skill to time the run, time the jump, outstretch your arms and catch that ball at precisely the right second, bearing in mind the obstructions, the distractions all around him. And Will Sharp and Featherstone Rovers get that foothold into this game.
Joel Monaghan would have been proud of that one. Class finish from Will Sharp. He's been ever present this season for Featherstone. Had a spell playing rugby union with Doncaster. Back in rugby league. And a great athlete.
Oh, that there's no doubt, Bill. That there's no doubt. He's certainly a great athlete and somebody who's proven he's got the ability to be outstanding at the top level. It was the consistency that was always the problem. Maybe he's found his home here.
2 more points would be very welcome, and Moore provides those. His 89th goal of the season. Featherstone get points on the board, 18-6.
Well, it's a well-placed kick. You can see that when Will Sharp comes onto that, he focuses on catching that ball and then grounding it. It might just put a bit of doubt in the opposition mind. Leigh Centurions have had everything going for them. Only suffered 1 defeat in the league this year, and they were courageous in defeating the Challenge Cup here against the Rhinos. But that's what the coach, Andy Hay, sat on the left of the pitch to them. That's what he'll be after.
The Flat Cappers have something to salute. Crossley again, off to Castleford, but a great gesture from Steve Crossley. He's donated £500 of his loyalty bonus that he was given by Featherstone Rovers to the Ground Development Fund. A great work going on at the Big Fellas Stadium, and I'm told the pitch is almost level, apparently. Major engineering works or construction work going on there, and there's hardly a slope on it.
Well, it would have had to be major, wouldn't it? It was a good old pitch to play on that, the big slope. One half it suited you, the other half it didn't. Baz got some speed up going down that hill, Bill, let me tell you.
Momentum.
Kick down the line from Gareth Moore. And that's lifted Featherstone Rovers' spirits.
And that's more of the same, completing the set. Score, we talk about it so often, don't we? You score, the importance then falls on that next set of 6. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Get to the end of your set, and then this is the treble. If you can get off the back of this with defence like this, and really restrict the metres of the opposition, then you hammer home that advantage that you got by crossing the line.
Emmett's still out there, but Featherstone numbers in the tackle to stop his progress. Just seem to have lifted their spirits, that sharp try and the extra 2 points from Gareth Moore. Still work to do, though. Ridyard thumps that ball downfield, and Sharp, time to gather it.
No, he's got to catch that on the full. Yeah. He's got to catch that on the full, and it's not like he's short of confidence. He catches that on the full. He's 10 metres further down the pitch.
Well, they restricted Leigh to just 31 metres when carrying the ball, but then that ball, by allowing it to bounce, probably give Leigh a further 15, 20 metres, and now they're under pressure.
Cording. Briley in with the tackle to assist Adam Higson. Lockwood. He's not going anywhere. That's the 5th tackle. Referee says play the ball and go back to the mark is his instruction. Jason Crooks just strayed. And then Gareth Moore thumps a kick downfield. Good one into open space.
That's a real facet of Gareth Moore's game. He's a good kicker of the ball. He can position it. He knows how to break a game down. After 31 minutes, it finally looks like he's going to be allowed to do that.
Lockwood making the tackle, assisted by Keegan Hurst, who's come off the bench for this Featherstone side. Ridyard inside the 40, thumps a good kick downfield, couldn't quite get the angle right. Sharp returns again.
Well, choosing to kick on the 3rd player, then you can just see the Leigh Centurions hunting on this left edge, chasing up really hard, led by Acton. Is that a strip?
Referee says play on, nothing going on there. Adam Higson picks it up for the Centurions.
Sorry, Bill, and that's why they kicked on the 3rd player, to try and get this error down here.
And now they want to capitalise on it. Jamie Acton.
It was Blackmore in the tackle, wasn't it? Just a loose carry from him. Leigh with the whip hand now.
Sarsfield, 10 metres out. Scorer of the first try of the game. Ridyard, short pass from him. Jamie Acton, just short. Little stab kick in. Oh, it could yet be a try.
It's Aspinall.
Martin Aspinall, I think that could be his first touch of the game.
I think he gets the ball down. It's whether his body is in or out of the pitch, yeah. That was my first impression.
So what else he's also asked for? He's also asked for whether there's any obstructions, anybody holding any Leigh Centurions back here from a clean run at the ball.
Well, I think the first thing is that they're all onside, all the chasers are onside. I think there's no obstructions on the way through, but does he get that ball down before his knee touches the line?
Isn't he? No, his legs are out. His legs are out. And I did think that on first glance.
Oh, it's very close. I think his left foot is just touching the line, I think, from that.
I'm wondering whether there's an extra frame in there, so we could...
And he has got big feet, Martin Aspinall. He used to play with him.
There you go.
Oh. Well, the ball's down and his foot's in touch. Does he get it down before his foot goes over? I don't think he does. I think at the point the ball's down, I think his foot's on the line. Got to get it down before his foot touches that line.
So what you're saying, Stuart, try or no try?
I think no try on that one. I think it's down at the same time, so therefore is dead in goal.
Ben Thaler is the video ref. This is his decision.
So isn't that
Martin Aspinall? Howl of anguish from the former Wigan man.
Sorry about that, Bill, but isn't that the danger of the Centurions? You don't know whether they're going to go wide, you don't know whether they're going to try to run over you, and then when you're moving up, you have Bob Bezic who gets out of dummy half and just puts a delicate kick in.
And now, here come Featherstone Rovers on the return with Jack Bussey. He's got the pass away off the deck.
Oh, that's a shame. Jack Bussey, former Stanley player, born and bred in Leeds. His elbows are,
That is the arm, the ball carrying arm has hit the deck, even though the ball might not have. Tackle's complete at that point, he can't pass the ball.
The ball carrying.
Well, here you see that's the correct decision. Martin Aspinall just taking that ball out of play. Well, James Rowley, Paul Rowley, sorry, a shake of the head. I'm sure he knew that wasn't going to be. 4 points could have turned into 6.
It's a good indication of how Featherstone think the game's going from in that first half, that Jack Bussey felt the need to try and get that offload off the floor when it arguably wasn't on. Only 30, just over half an hour gone, and already trying to push the pass.
Knock on.
Another error, this time from the Centurions, and Featherstone Rovers players congratulate each other on some good defence there.
And that's what it means to them. You've got to attack through your defence. Whenever someone comes up to you and they're looking to play through the line, you can see Kurt Haggerty, he is a wonderful footballer. But you can just see the mistake from them, and that's lifted the spirits of Featherstone, defending their own line, 15 metres out, and they forced that error. That will give them a huge lift.
Very whiskery side, Leigh Centurions.
Okay. Cheers, mate. Stay on. Listen to the outcome.
It's what the kids dig now, Bill.
Here come Featherstone then. Bit of a let-off.
Move, Martin. One.
They have points on the board, though. Anakin.
He's powerful, Anakin, isn't he?
He was too powerful earlier in the season when he was banned for 5 games for a tackle against Warrington.
Come through the ranks at Wakefield, Anakin. He's a real short, stocky player, and that's the reason defenders have difficulty putting him down, putting him on the floor.
Wild offload. Featherstone losing a bit of ground there.
It's not considered play, is it, Bill? It's not organised, it's not considered. I think this man Moore and his counterpart, Andy Kane, they need to communicate a hell of a lot better than they're doing at the moment.
It's a good kick, though, but it's not a bad return either.
A great return from Greg McNally. Thought he'd found some space, and that door was slammed shut. I think it was Gareth Moore. Both feet off the floor and just got a big see you later from Greg McNally.
That's too easy, though, isn't it? You can't have a fullback returning the ball like that and just ghosting through.
Johnny Walker, I think, with the offload. Former Hull Kingston Rovers man Walker, released by the club in the summer months. That look forward to Sarsfield.
To answer your question, Tez, no, it's not good enough, but I think that's the place that Featherstone are in. They need some energy, they need to hydrate, get some coconut water, get some drinks down, they get some energy back.
Another set to there. Referee Thomason had spotted it. I think there might have been an elbow in there on Martin Aspinwall in the tackle. Aspinwall certainly reacted to something. He's having a busy night, is Matt Thomason.
Well, what Matt Thomason's got in his armory, he talks to the players, he communicates with them, he gets them on side because he tries to work with them to have a better game.
Listen to me.
There's Martin Aspinall, I think there's the challenge. That's what Martin was upset with.
It is a late one from Keegan Hurst, and as I said in the warm-up, he's a big man. 6'3", 6'4". You bet he's over 115 kgs. He's a big thing. You wouldn't like that landing on you.
He looks angry as well. He's a big angry man, which makes it twice as dangerous.
For the old-timers listening at home, 115 kgs is about 18 and a bit stone landing on top of you.
Former Hunslet player Keegan Hurst, his old club, victorious in the Championship 1 grand final, as Ridyard adds a further 2 points just to re-establish a bit of distance between the Centurions and Featherstone. 20 points to 6, the scoreline.
Well, it's just about turning that screw, isn't it? Just tighten it up on Featherstone. They've got to make sure that any time that they're near their own line, they can't give a penalty away. They've got to be disciplined.
A couple of minutes before the players and the teams go into the half-time dressing room, I think Andy Hay will be quite positive. He'll say, we have thrown nothing at this Leigh side, and there's 20 points on the clock. Leigh have had a good go, and they've scored some tremendous tries. But when Featherstone get into gear, they can score some tries as well. They're an impressive side on the ball.
It doesn't strike me, though, at the moment that Featherstone are... I don't think Leigh are going to let them get into gear. They've got to do something positive themselves. They've got to create some momentum from somewhere. And at the moment, the best bet is at the base of the ruck, and Leigh seems to have it locked up at the moment.
Absolutely. They play the ball and the speed of it.
Here's Johnny Walker. Swiftly recruited by Leigh when he became available during the summer.
Go. Jack, release!
On the halfway line.
Wait! Go!
Ridyard. Well, they're running it on the last stick. Oh, that was forwards.
Just marginally forward from Kurt Haggerty. Again, soft hands. Just a nice line on Kurt Haggerty. He's the son of Roy Haggerty, the former St Helens forward, named after the great Kurt Sorensen. That's where Roy got his name from. Kurt Sorensen's in the country. Last night, myself and Tez at a celebration dinner for 25 years since that great game at Old Trafford. Canberra versus Widnes.
Talking of 25 years, it's Hull Kingston Rovers chairman Neil Hutchell's 25th wedding anniversary. Guess where he is today?
Watching this game?
Watching this game.
Get dressed, love, I'm taking you out.
No, to be fair, he and his wife Joanne have been away to celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary, but Neil Hutchell here at the ground. So too is Christophe Jouffre, the Catalan chief executive. You thought he'd have gone home by now, but he's still in the country watching yet more rugby league.
Well, he was watching the academy.
Was playing for the Warrington Academy against Wigan yesterday. Just on the losing side by 2 points, Louis was. Crossfield kick. It's worked once for Featherstone. Will it work again? The hooter goes, and Leigh, always looking to counter, are countering now. Armstrong kicks crossfield. Hickson will collect it, and Hickson flicks it inside and into touch, and that's the end of the first half. What an end that was. It could have been a Featherstone try. It could have been a Leigh try. It's breathtaking stuff in the first 40 minutes in this championship grand final. It's the Leigh Centurions who at the break catching their breath and leading 20 points to 6.
Yes, thanks very much, Bill. It is a fourth grand final in 5 years for the Featherstone Rovers at this level. But they don't look like they're going to come away victorious. But can the second 40 minutes be a bit kinder to them? We'll review the first 40 after a very short break. Join us then.
Head and feed Isuzu D-Max.
Who's got the best odds on United to win 2-1?
12 to 1, cash price. 14 to 1, I'll give you 14 to 1. 14 to 1. 15's money back special at 14 to 1 and bet in play.
Download the app now and bet with all the leading bookies. Odds Checker, where the bookmakers compete for you.
My name used to start with an Michael. Sometimes it was a and sometimes it was a R. But mostly If your name starts with an in the interview, here's what you're saying. I'm not sure, I'm not ready, I don't have a clue, I don't care about my future, I don't want this job, maybe the other candidates waiting outside are more confident than me. Lose the Hi, I'm Michael. If you know an Irma, tell them about life skills.
It's a great piece of meat, isn't it?
What are we using it for today?
My spaghetti bolognese. Is it local?
We're only 70 miles away.
Nice tomatoes. Where are they from?
They're English.
What's the point of being discerning with your ingredients if you're not discerning about your stock? Knorr stock pots are made with real ingredients for a real meaty taste. Make your meals as good as mine. Almost.
If you love a bit of fun, you'll love a bit of Betfred.
When was the last time you needed a hero? When will be the next? Our biggest collection of all your superhero favorites. Whenever, wherever you need them. Sky Movies Superheroes, available from Monday.
Sky Sports, your home of darts. Whenever you want, wherever you are.
Head and feed, Isuzu D-Max.
14 teams began their Championship League campaign back in February. In October, only 2 remain, the top 2. Leigh Centurions finished first, Featherstone Rovers finished second, and it's Leigh that lead the Rovers 20 points to 6 at half-time. You imagine it'd be a very comfortable Leigh Centurions dressing room, although their coach Paul Rowley was driving them hard throughout that first half. A first half they seem to be fully in control of. Andy Hayes' side, well, that one try from Will Sharp will have given them hope, and they had a couple of breaks, a couple of chances at the Leigh Centurions line. We're going to have a look at the action from that first half, and it was Leigh Centurions that scored first through Matt Sarsfield, and Sean Penkovic, John, had the biggest influences.
He did, as you could see there. He picked out the late retreater in Dean Hardman. He was very, very late in getting back, was Ian Hardman. Superb passing sequence to set Sarsfield away for the first try. Didn't have to wait long for it either, did we? Underneath the sticks after 5 minutes. Then Brearley showing the other side of his game. He's back 36 tries this season in all competitions. We've shadowed him here to show the superb chase back on Moore. Try saver that without a doubt.
And then another intervention from Penkovic as well. This is a class act.
Any play the ball that looks half quick. He's got the pace, and he's got the low centre of gravity to go. I love the interplay here between Ridyard and Brearley, and then on to McNally, who showed some great pace to get over in the corner. 12-0. It looked too easy, didn't it, at that stage?
They threw plenty at them, Leigh Centurions, and Featherstone were defending valiantly. Indeed, defended this break, but weren't unable to defend the scrum subsequent to it.
Yeah, I mean, itself, a good decision from Will Sharp, but look at the defence off the scrum here. On the far left of your screen, on his own, Jason Crooks, short side against 2 attackers. Criminal, and Armstrong goes through pretty much untouched. Class act is Armstrong. Really like the cut of his jib. Very good first half.
Now, I take the point you were making about Will Sharp defensively. Offensively, he showed he's well able to do it when he wants.
He can come up with these sorts of plays. He's a very, very unpredictable player. I had the pleasure of playing with him for a couple of years down in London, and subsequently seen him whilst working for Sky for Hull FC. He's a talented player, there's no doubt about that. It's whether his mind's on the game and whether his eyes are on the ball. Certainly, from the evidence of that, he's up for this one.
That Will Sharp try meant it was 18 points to 6 to Leigh Centurions. They did kick a penalty towards the end through Martin Ridyard to push it out to 20 points to 6. Was there a hint in the decision to take that penalty that they respected this Featherstone Rover side can and will come at them hard in this second half?
Perhaps. I think also they wanted to get some air back into the lungs of that forward pack. They know they've got another 40 minutes to go. It kind of put a bit of a full stop to any kind of life that Featherstone were looking to try and breathe back into what they were doing. They're really struggling around the ruck, I've got to say. They are struggling to generate any momentum as well as slow down Leigh Centurions.
And looking a little loose around the ruck and opposed by players that can exploit that, as you pointed out, Penkovic and Bezic.
And that is only going to get worse as the game goes on, and as the fatigue levels increase, the rotations are used up, there's going to be more game minutes out there played. The likes of Penkovic and Bob Bezic are going to take advantage if they don't address it sooner.
Well, can Andy Hay find energy from somewhere for his charges? They have 40 minutes to rescue this grand final. 2014 grand final looks like it's going the way of the Leigh Centurions, and nobody begrudges them that. What a season they've had. Their colours lowered just once in the league, once in the Challenge Cup, that by the Leeds Rhinos. Here at Headingley, a night they were outstanding. They're outstanding again in the first 40 minutes of this game. We've got 40 more minutes of grand final action coming up shortly.
The Gladiators are entering the arena.
Life insurance can be a bit of a nightmare. But Beagle Street is different. A simple, friendly life insurance service online.
Hello, Roger. Little back rub?
For life insurance reborn, go to beaglestreet.com.
I think the new earrings are really going to tie your whole outfit together.
You're so sweet. Wow, that was very mature of you.
Yeah, well, I'm a lot older now than when she started getting dressed.
Sky Sports, your home of sport. Whenever you want, wherever you are.
The Gladiators are entering the arena.
It's the biggest game of my coaching career, the biggest game of all the players' career. There's a very good chance some of them won't play in this again.
Just let me get this right. Do we want to win the World Club Challenge? Have we flown 10,000 miles to win the World Club Challenge?
This is our day.
And Warriors Down Under is available on demand now. Well worth a watch. And the Wigan Warriors were in the World Club Challenge this year because they won last year's Super League Grand Final. They contest this year's Super League Grand Final. The opposition, the old rivals St Helens. It will be Nathan Brown's last game in charge of the famous St Helens club. That's 5 p.m. on Sky Sports 1. Do not miss it. Well, here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium, we're at the Championship Grand Final. Time now to go to your commentary team, and they're led tonight by Bill Arthur.
Matt Thomason ready to get the second half underway. The referee blows the whistle, and Featherstone Rovers with some work to do. And great, what a start to the second half that was. And perfect kick, Will Sharp immediately nailed. Signal of the Centurions' intentions.
Well, they need to get a grip on this game. That's a good run and a good shot from Walker, but Anakin rides that tackle, carries on, continues to pump his legs forward, but they need to get a grip on this game in the opening 20 minutes and see if they can pressure this Leigh Centurion side.
Jack Bussey plays the ball, and Featherstone with a scampering run. And again, the two sides quick to confront.
Well, they get the penalty here. They've run hard, they've run strong. That was probably the best set of six that they've had in this game, and it's the opening one in the second half. Sarsfield high, Aspinall high. Good field position here. They need a bit of time on the ball. See if they can create some chances.
Only the second penalty Featherstone Rovers have been awarded in this game. Can they do something with the territory that they've gained through that? Keegan Hurst. Andy Hay looking on, hoping his side can make a positive start to this second half. They're in with a chance of doing that. Oh, the ball goes to ground. Sean Pitt couldn't take the pass. What an opportunity that was for Featherstone.
Well, that was nicely constructed, that. They came onto the short side. A nice little double pump. Sean Pitt unable to get that ball. There you go.
They manufactured the extra man, Baz. They left Will Sharp right in behind the ruck, out of vision really from that left edge defence. Just perhaps pushed the pass so early in this second half. It was a good set, wasn't it, to get them into position.
So good start though for Featherstone. Could have been better, but that will encourage them. 20 points to 6 they trail as we go into the second half, and an opportunity to hear from Graham Beecroft on the sidelines.
Yes, the message at half-time from Leigh is stay at the same level. They started the game well. They want to start the second half well as well, show the same skill as we have done all year. That was the message, and they're showing that again now, Bill, as they go down the far side. Featherstone, well, Andy Hay saying, we've given them too much ball altogether. We did not more of the football, and we need to try to test them. So that's what they're aiming to do. They've got a long way to go, though, Bill.
Kick from Brierley. Turning Featherstone rounds. And Blackmore with work to do, beg your pardon. Crooks with work to do to get out of danger there, and Hardman likewise.
Well, just have a little look at this line speed from Leigh Centurions. Maybe that play wasn't the best, but Leigh Centurions definitely dictating the speed of this game, whether they're defending or whether they've got the ball. Featherstone need to get a grip of this and slow them down.
The kick and the chase, because they weren't connected in geographical terms on the field. Really with a snapped kick from the right edge, but the left edge knew exactly what was coming, and once Crooks had misjudged the bounce of the ball, or was trying to read the bounce of the ball, set all the rest of these Leigh players on the left edge in motion. It's very impressive to see them work as a team.
McNally gets the pass away. Sarsfield on the score sheet tonight. McNally again. Ridgyard, I beg your pardon. On the halfway line, Leigh Centurions. Bezic takes a look. Brierley, McNally ghosting through a gap, just collared, literally. By Cording it was. McNally, Ridgyard with the kick. Oh, very nearly into the arms of Armstrong. And Liam Kay was there as well.
What about that pass from dummy half? That was about 25 metres, right on the button. That was the catalyst for the time and space to allow that kick to be put in, and a better look at that. Accurate, right on the button, and Ridgyard has the time and space and a different bounce. That's a wonderful try.
You know, teams obviously play with structure and they get a game plan when they go out there, but Paul Rowley's game plan is go out there and just play what you see. If you think something's on, take advantage of it. Do the little things, work very hard in this area. The defence, you make sure that you complete, you turn them over, you just peel off at the right time, but you make sure you communicate.
They always look to be trying something, don't they?
Well, it's a really good point. That's it. You can, as a coach, you can box up players and you can pigeonhole them, and you can make them part of a really tough structure and set structure. As Leigh give away a further penalty.
I think you're saying Al Wigan, who seem to do the same stuff over and over again, as we see the penalty. Bob Bezic just trying to buy an extra second. Ben Blackmore in his rush and his haste buys a penalty for his team. But the difference between Wigan and Leigh is they're playing what they see. Wigan are fantastic exponents of that structure that we see so many times and will possibly watch next weekend in the grand final.
Well, you could be ruthless either way, can't you?
So the penalty gives Featherstone Rovers an opportunity to test the Leigh Centurions' defence. There's some punishing tackling going on out there. That ball's been stolen. It is a penalty. The ball's been thrown away.
Now this is where Featherstone need to calm down. This is where they need to regain the composure. Moore and Kane need to confer. They need a conflab. They need to organise something. It's no point running with the same red mist that has seen them get to this point. They're now in position. They have 6 plays. Need to make the most of them.
Yes. Matt Thomason has got his hands full here. There's finger pointing going on between the two sides. This one is building up even more. It's been lively from the word go, but it could get more lively because Featherstone have a chance here. They have Leigh camped on their own try line. It's with Keegan Hurst trying to use his bulk to force his way over the line. Just short again, says the referee. Bussey. They do get the ball out wide. They have the numbers here. Good defence once more. And it was Andy Kane who was tackled just shy of the try line. So the kick comes in, and it's too strong, and that's a disappointing end to that 20. And they They kind of lost their way there.
You're absolutely bang on. That was a terrible end to the set of 6, it seemed. Hurried. First of all, Keegan Hurst, who goes for him, goes straight centre of the pitch, and then the play after that, it just seemed a selfish play. Look for space and take opportunities.
Look at the urgency of Leigh Centurions. They didn't wait to see what Featherstone were going to do. They got up off the line and forced the hand of the Rovers.
I think they also knew that when Andy Kane had got tackled with the ball, that's one of the 2 kickers on the last tackle, so they made a beeline for Gareth Moore, which prevented the pass and forced Will Sharp into the kick. Great play.
Bezic, lovely pass. Ridyard is able to get the pass away. It's Michael Platt now. Platt, massive experience in this Leigh side. There's another man with experience, Bezic. And the game again going from one end of the pitch to the other as it's Featherstone's turn to defend here. Another kick, another chase. And just too strong.
Well, they've come from one end of the pitch to the other, and Bob Bezic, again, the intelligence of him, Ridyard, they just seem to be just turning the notch up again, playing with an awful lot of speed. Is that swinging arm from Walker?
Oh, that was a swinging arm, and that was Walker, and that's going to spark things up.
Heavy contact.
Well, there was always going to be some spice in this game, whether it be at the start of the game or at the back end of the game. Again, they're getting rewarded. Featherstone are getting some rewards early in this second half. They're running very hard into the collisions. They're rocking the Leigh defenders back, and you've got to give them credit for this. Bussey has come out in the second half with a decent attitude, as have Anakin. And both of those players are causing the opposition problem.
And you can see with the number on his back, although it's a squad number, he's a pivot, but he's not afraid to tuck the ball under his wing and do the hard stuff.
4th successive penalty for Featherstone Rovers. Can they turn this into points? Hardman, not fully fit, Ian Hardman, but on the field nonetheless with this calf problem.
And number 8,
Will Sharp, the ball is batted down.
That was touched.
Picked up by Briley. The referee has said play on. Ryan Briley isn't going to hang around. He's heading for the corner. Referee Thomason has now had the call. Thing from the sideline. He's brought them back. And, well, he can smile about it.
And it's the correct call, Bill, but it's come off the back of a Michael Platt read in defence. He's done extremely well. Michael Platt out of the line on Will Sharp. He had to, if we saw that in its entirety, he had to make that read a good 2 or 3 seconds before.
Do you think he deliberately goes for the ball?
No, he goes to affect the tackle.
The ball's come loose. As soon as that ball's passed, if it's touched by a player, that's been routinely ruled as played out. So as soon as the ball comes away from the passer, it's classed as a knock-on, and that's entirely consistent with everything else that's gone on this season. So it's a good call.
So Featherstone Rovers again have possession. They've had plenty of possession in the second half. Jamie Cording plays the ball. Strong run from Matt James.
And again built in the right area.
They need to do something constructive with it. They're trying now. They go down the short side. Hardman's pass. They're in the corner. Is it a second try for Will Sharp? It's a video ref call.
I think this is a try, I do. I agree, I'm going with it straight away, Barry. I think that is a try.
He's done really well, Will Sharp. He must have had half a metre to work in.
Does he still have his hand on the ball? That's what it's going to be all about. Does he get it down?
Yes.
It's still up in the air. Holy moly, there's enough on to try. He's got his fingers on it. That should be given as a try.
That's a quality effort.
What an effort that is.
He's got his back to the line.
3 Leigh players on him.
So he's got a couple of inches between himself, the Leigh players, and the touchline. He hits and spins off Liam Kerr, who's a big, strong man as well. Yet he still has the focus and composure to ground that ball. Brilliant play, and this could give them a huge lift.
just on this, they're obviously trying to check that he's got some part of his hand on the ball. The ball doesn't bounce or anything. It goes on the ground. He just needs a fingertip on that ball to place it on the ground. There's got to be enough evidence there for the try to be given.
Yeah, he's done well enough for a try, hasn't he? The turn, because the try line was blind to him.
Is it Will Sharp's second try of the game? It is. His first was pretty good. That was even better. The former winger playing at full-back tonight. Class finish from a man who's had his time in Super League with Harlequins and Hull.
Well, Andy Hay would have sensed his troops out. Show me that you want this game in the second half. And in the opening 10 minutes, they've done that. They've certainly done that. They've run very hard. Ian Hardman at the line. And then obviously passing that ball to Will Sharp. That is a brilliant finish. Look at that. Excellent.
Well, Tezzy's one-on-one with Liam Kerr. But as we've all pointed out, we've all spotted, he's got his back to the try line. And in the half a second that Liam Kerr collects him, another two defenders come, try to push him off the island. Wonderful finish, getting Featherstone Rovers back into this ball game. Well, 2 points here from Gareth Moore will really set this game up for a grandstand finish. Moore from the sidelines, the flat cappers behind those posts like it. Urging it over that crossbar. 20 points to 12.
Well, it was Will Sharp who kick-started the fight back in the first half with a magnificent take for a try to get them on the board. And then he crosses for the brace after just over 50 minutes of the second half. The man who was just in your screen, confidence will be high. It was a superb finish.
Here he is again. And Featherstone Rovers have really dominated this second half.
Well, we were talking before the game about all the hard work you do in the off-season. Oh, brilliant run. Brilliant run. Matt James. That's how you run onto the ball. That's how you give your teammates a chance.
Matt James take a bow, hard and strong. We talked about the physicality of the Leigh Centurions. It seems like Featherstone have come out. Get out of the way!
Can they sustain it? Here's Jack Bussey. That's another penalty.
So they've scored a try, they've come 70 metres, they've run very hard, they've forced Leigh into giving a penalty away. This is a different Featherstone side in this second half.
And you know how they've done it? It's exactly what we were talking about at half-time, wasn't it? They've got to generate some momentum around the ruck. They got killed by Leigh in the first 40 minutes. I think they've given them a taste of their own medicine and shown just how good they can be going forward.
Steve Crossley now. They're about 8 metres away. Lockwood. He was just short. He's trying to extricate himself to play that ball. That's a penalty. Leigh under pressure here. Matt Thomason was right on the spot there. Couldn't have had a much clearer view of that particular infringement. So another penalty. Here's Bussey once more. Matt James. James, I beg your pardon, he's over the try line. It is Matt James, he's held up.
Great work, McNally. Superb work from Greg McNally, because that's a try-saver. You are watching a try-saver at a crucial point in the match.
That's a big effort to stop Matt James. We saw him bump away one of the Leigh players. Top effort.
They've not finished yet, though, as Crossley plays the ball. Good defence from Leigh this time, and Andy Kane has lost that ball. It's another penalty. It's a ball steal, says the referee.
Well, they don't need to panic, Featherstone. Leigh are giving back-to-back penalties away here. They're the team that's feeling it. They're the team that's under the pump at the minute. Featherstone are challenging them, and Leigh, as I said in the first half, they've not been in this situation.
Well, we called it in the first half. Camp out, down in your opponent's
last third, spend some time down here, make Leigh Centurions start to get a bit anxious.
It's actually a harsh penalty, I think. I think Liam Kay was trying to wrap the ball up rather than anything else. I don't think there was an intention to steal, but they've got the decision. And the more time that Featherstone spend in Leigh's danger area and don't come up with a score, the more jittery this attack's going to become.
Here's Crossley. Quizzical look on the face of Leigh Centurions coach Paul Rowley at that decision, which could cost his side, or not if they come up with play like that. What a sad end to that particular phase for Featherstone Rovers. And Andy Hay asked the question.
I'm sorry, Bill. They're caught in two minds again from dummy half. When you get out, I think it was Teasdale. He jumped he jumped the other side, and then there was nothing happening, and then he comes up with a pass, probably a forced pass, really, because it just wasn't on.
Yeah. What a great opportunity that was for Featherstone Rovers. They're very much on top in this second half. They're still trailing on the scoreboard. Here is Michael Platt, very seasoned campaigner, one of several, like that man, Bob Bezic. But Matt James, who's a man inspired, flying in to make the tackle.
This defence wasn't there in the first half, though, Bill. They are trying to hurt Leigh. Every opportunity they get, they're trying to hurt Leigh.
Ollie Wilkes, what a sidestep from the big man. And Wilkes going up the middle of the field. Little chip kick ahead. The Leigh fans saying their man was taken out. The referee agrees Brierley was obstructed, and it's going to be a penalty.
Good break from Ollie Holmes. Just rejoined proceedings. Isn't this game being played at a frenetic pace now?
I love the sight of Sam Barlow stepping in as peacemaker in that particular confrontation.
He's the innocent party, Sam Barlow.
I'll tell you what I don't like, though, and that's Leigh players coming up and putting their hands on the referee. It's creeping into our game, this. The back chat, the crowd in the referee. There's got to be a stand taken soon. That's got to stop. And just going back to Teasdale's pass there, yes, it was a poor pass, and it's left them in a precarious position, Featherstone, but you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. 7 or 8 games into a career. It's a big stage for the lad.
Here is Sam Barlow. And Leigh, having been under pressure on their own try line, are now looking to capitalise on that Featherstone Rovers misdemeanour. And Wilkes reversing towards the Featherstone try line. Brierley, pass out wide to Higson. Featherstone back on their own try line. McNally calling the shots. Another booming pass. Finds Ridyard. Ridyard puts the brakes on, comes back into the middle of the field. Leigh attacking that Carnegie stand end of the ground where their supporters are waiting, hopefully to salute another try, they think, as Platt, though, is crowded out. Again, they keep the ball alive. Again, Wilkes goes rampaging, tries to get the offload away. Can't do. Little rush of blood from Ollie Wilkes there, I think.
Well, he's had a good couple of minutes, Ollie Wilkes, to get this field position. He comes up with the break in midfield. When he gets his arms free, he's trying to look for one of his teammates again. Look, he knows that there's 2 or 3 players there, and he thinks the ball was knocked down from a Featherstone player.
Well, Ollie Wilkes was a member of... There's a kick.
That's a loose carry. That's a loose carry.
It is, I agree. I was just going to say Ollie Wilkes played for Leigh 10 years ago in a similar fixture. Was a big member of that game as well.
Well, I would have a different view to that. He's actually in possession of the ball, and the ball is kicked out of his hand. I think that's dangerous play.
Well, Stuart, I would, as a full-back there, ball and all tackle.
You can't kick the ball out of somebody's hands.
He's trying to make an offload, in my opinion. Now,
Even so, do it after he's offloaded it. You can't kick it out of his hands.
20 points to 12. Leigh Centurions lead here in this championship grand final. Coming up to the hour mark here at Headingley Carnegie.
Well, he's running like a forward, Will Sharp. Certainly got the bit between his teeth, followed by Crossley. And all it takes is just these couple of runs to get in that good field position, to play off the back of that. And we've talked about Brierley, we've talked about Ridyard, but we can't forget about Andy Kane, who is that runner. Gareth Moore, very good kicking game.
Kane hoists the kick. McNally comes to claim it. And claims it very comfortably. Can Featherstone Rovers sustain the momentum they've developed in this second half, which has stopped the Centurions' march in its tracks? The ball has come loose. It was Barlow, I think, who lost that ball.
Under heavy contact from the Featherstone defenders.
Hardman picked it up. Featherstone have the ball back. Jack Bussey.
No penalties made.
Little step. Good offload. Lockwood again, just short of the try line. Again, they try for it. And this time, Featherstone Rovers scored the try from Teesdale. He tried it once and came up short. Has he found his way under the Centurions' cover to score the try?
Well, Luke Teesdale had a spell at Leeds Academy. I've seen him do this many, many times. Teddy is his nickname. And Teddy thinks he has an opportunity. Tries to burrow his way to the line.
Well, the referee's asked for the video referee to look to see if there's any obstruction from the...
it's Lockwood, Stuart.
It's obstruction by the man playing the ball. That's what they would be looking at.
Yeah, he puts his arms out.
Well, I think he's got to stand still when he plays the ball. He can't run into them like that. I think that this will be disallowed for obstruction.
I agree. It's a shame, though. It's a shame because what that try would have represented, had it been given, would have been a resurgence in this Featherstone side in this second 40 minutes. I think they've really taken it to the Centurions. And this is a game now with 20 minutes left.
Lockwood can't get out of the way, but what he can't do is put his arms out. That's what he can't do.
And I don't think he needed to.
No, he didn't do, because he gets to the side, Teesdale, and he gets low, and he does enough to score the try. If Lockwood keeps his arms tucked in, that's a try.
Well, Gareth Moore, after that decision, had a long talk with Matt Thomason, who explained the rationale behind video ref Ben Thaler's decision. Platt feared that Featherstone had got another try, but he can breathe easy for a while, Michael Platt.
And again, can you remember in the first half, or any part of this game, when a leigh forward ran and you saw the head rock backwards?
Sarsfield collects the pass, tries to get it away.
And that's the effect that it's having, Bill. It's forcing Leigh into passes and decisions that they perhaps would not have made 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. Such has been the way that they've started this second half.
And I keep seeing Leigh players with their arms up. They're appealing for things that probably aren't there. That's a flick pass that, if it comes off, it's brilliant. If it doesn't, you hand possession over to Featherstone Rovers, as they did then.
Certainly not as comfortable, Leigh, as they were in the first half. Their lead has been cut in this second half by Featherstone with that Will Sharp try. 20 points to 12 the score. And a much stronger second half performance from Featherstone. Good kick. Gareth Moore barking out instructions to his teammates.
Well, all the action in this second half has been near Leigh's try line, and that man, Gareth Moore, we talked about his short kicking game, his long kicking game. He's saying to his teammates, they're one set of six. He knows it all comes down to what your attitude's like in defence. And we say it all the time, this is where you want to defend.
Well, that one might signal 1 minute's work. Typically, a defensive set lasts 1 minute. He's asking his team to muscle up for 1 minute.
They've muscled up for 22 in the second half, and they've done extremely well, dragged themselves back into this game, courtesy of that Will Sharp try. But it's been the work in the middle that's been impressive. They've really tightened up around the ruck. This area of the field here, stopped the likes of Liam Kay and Penkiewicz, Bezic from making the breaks around the ruck, and it's transformed their outlook when in attack. Look an awful lot more confident.
Emmett is back on the field. Super League Grand Final to come Saturday at 5 o'clock. Our coverage starts on Sky Sports 1 as Saints take on the Wigan Warriors. Sharp goes all the way back to his own try line to collect that ball. Could have made life easier for himself, maybe.
I think that's poor. I praised him before for his kick return, but he should have called out the fullback.
Well, I believe that the winger, I think it's Jason Crooks on that side, should have already been thinking about that. See Featherstone.
Oh dear.
Under a little bit of stress, make a poor decision. I think it was Jason Crooks' fault as much as anybody else.
Oh dear. Now, this is what
Did Michael Platt pull? Did Michael Platt pull the Featherstone player then, Stuart?
Well, I think they've almost given themselves up on that play, haven't they? So you can see why Matt Thomason's come up with the obstruction call. He stopped him getting the shot right on the player, very close to his line.
So Leigh, a rare venture into this Featherstone half, and what a finish from Hickson.
Wow.
If he's got that ball down, it's another call for the video ref. But we've seen a spectacular finish from Adam Hickson. And Matt Thomason in no doubt about that. The try awarded. And Adam Hickson gives the Leigh Centurion supporters at that end of the ground something to cheer about in the second half, where they have been under pressure.
Well, that's the key thing. They've been under pressure, yet good sides can just, by clicking the fingers, they can come up with a try like that. And Adam Hickson to score that try, what a fabulous effort and a great athlete.
What a finish. What a finish. This was the penalty given away by Lockwood. It was unintentional, and Blackmore and Lockwood, a miscommunication. But let's focus on the positives here. First of all, the ball, the pass, we've seen that before. And then the finish, that's out of the top draw. That'll win you a grand final. Superb finish in the corner.
It is a good finish, I'm going to say it again. I don't like seeing playing with their hands and their arms up in the air. I think it's Kurt Haggerty that appeals for that penalty, but we've already seen Ryan Brierley from right to left throw a 25-metre pass on the button. That was a little bit short, so that was about 10 or 12 metres, but right on the button. Hickson levitates to score the try. Makinson-esque finish from Adam Hickson, but the conversion missed by Martin Ridyard. Leigh 24, Featherstone Rovers 12, and the Centurions just staying out of reach.
Well, Hickson scores the try, and again, we're all saying a fabulous effort, but for Brierley, not only is he a try machine, the accuracy of which him and Ridyard are passing this ball, cutting out a number of players every time they have the chance. It's incredible.
I think the ball from Brierley had been thrown 2 or 3 times, hadn't it? I remember 2 or 3 minutes ago, Hickson taking the ball, seeing Blackmore on him and taking the step back inside. Take the extra couple of plays. He felt he was going to back himself that time. And that's the finish of the day for me. Both games we've seen, that's a superb finish. Top draw stuff.
Matt Thomason, the referee, you suspect might have his work cut out in the final quarter of this game to keep the lid on things. A bit of frustration maybe from Featherstone Rovers.
Well, they've chose on a few occasions, whether it be Penkovic or Ridyard kicking on that third play.
Am I being too harsh there, John? As a former winger, should Jason Crooks be thinking about buying himself a bit of time, a bit of space over on that right-hand side?
On the third play?
Well, I think at this stage in the game, I think you've got 40 minutes left and you're down by 12 points, and you've got to think about getting there, haven't you? Perhaps dropping off a little earlier.
I think that's a tough call, though, that Doug. But on the third play, when the ball was on that side, they were actually playing the ball on Jason Crooks' side.
So he has to start, yes.
So he has to make sure that he's in the defensive line.
That's true. I take your point, in which case you're going to ask where Will Sharp was. Now, without rewinding the tape and having a look, it's going to be very difficult. You know the back three work as a unit, both wings and the fullback. The communication between the two, I think when all said and done, it was a good kick that's killed a minute and killed momentum.
Leigh supporters have been a bit quiet in this second half, but a bit livelier now after that Hickson try. His 17th of the season, and he got a hat-trick in the game that got them to this grand final last week, the win over Shrewsbury Rams just last week. Have Featherstone got enough left to mount another comeback? They've made a battle of it in this second half, that's for sure.
They'll get the ball high in the air there.
They do that. Has McNally backpedaling? Oh, he took that well.
That's a lovely take. Blind over the shoulder, spiraled bomb. We were looking at it going through the air. That's a superb take. Taking those blinds is a very difficult skill. It's a difficult still static. Wow.
Jason Crooks.
And it's all off now.
Oh, well, you wouldn't want to get in the middle of that, would you, Bill?
What did it say?
It's Jason Crooks who comes over the top, and then obviously Penkovic, he takes exception and runs 15 metres to defend his teammate.
And that's the player that could be in trouble. The one that comes running in, it was a dreadful attempt at a tackle.
I think Jason Crooks, this man could be in trouble. Could be in big trouble.
Yeah, well, Matt Thompson's already had a chat with a couple of players. There it is. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Straight over the top, and then Sean Penkovic.
Stuart.
Well, I mean, that's a ridiculous tackle, really. He's got all the body to air, Matt. I think he could be in trouble here.
Jason Crooks was sent off for the Magic weekend for Hull against Hull Kingston Rovers, and he could be seeing red for the second time this season.
Well, you just can't defend that, can you?
For the first offence, penalty against him, and then we got Sean Penkovic running in, yeah, so we're going to put both men in the bin.
Referee Matt Thomason consulting his fellow officials.
Go 10 minutes, pal. You're the first offence.
Oh, it's a lucky boy.
He is.
Who does this hurt most? Well, so you've got Jason Crooks, you've lost the winger, you could probably deal with a winger. And I'm sure if Penkovic scores,
he will.
For
He'll
10
get
minutes,
a yellow. Because he came running in.
Attacking threat in the middle of the field.
It's up to me, yeah, to deal with it. I don't need you to react like that. Now you got to take 10 minutes as well.
Well, I don't know what Jason Crooks is going to do to get sent off there, then. I really don't, because that was a terrible attempt at a tackle.
It wasn't an attempt at a tackle, was it?
Well, it was getting a bit spicy there towards the back end of this game. Gets that totally wrong. Jason Crooks. And he is a lucky man.
Concedes the penalty.
I can feel you're looking at me to give some mitigation, having history in that department, but hard to mitigate that.
So both sides down to 12 minutes. Barlow gets a great pass away, and Armstrong goes on down that left-hand side.
When can you switch off when Barlow's got the ball?
He's always up to something. Good or bad? Ridyard straightens it up, heads towards that Featherstone try line.
What we're certainly going to see for the next 10-15 minutes is a wide-open game, a player less on either side. The gaps between the defenders that little bit bigger. It's going to be that little bit easier to get your head through and a quick play the ball or an offload away.
Haggerty tackled 10 metres out for the Leigh Centurions. Emmett heads towards those Centurions fans in that stand at the end. Leigh are attacking, and Barlow barrels his way over for another Leigh try. What did I say? You cannot keep this guy out of the game. And Sam Barlow with what could be a crucial try in this game, his 5th try of the season. He was a winner in the 2010 Grand Final with Halifax. Poor Rowley sensing that maybe the big loose forward has set his side on the way to a Grand Final victory here.
Well, I think that's game, set and match to the Leigh Centurions. And there's the high shot from Crooks. Leads to good position on the field for the Leigh Centurions. The direction from Bob Bezic, the players in motion. Ryan Briley pushing up on the outside shoulder of Sam Barlow. He skips to the outside. Powerful try, Barry.
Well, there's no finesse. That's just plan A. Run hard, run strong. A little bit of evasion and a nice offload. You've scored the try, lad. You don't need to offload the ball. And he celebrates with his fans at the back of the sticks. Leigh Centurions are all but there.
Ridyard. 2 more points. Leigh Centurions, another crown. Top of the table, league leaders, and now on their way to a grand final victory.
just with a man down on either side. We were just saying in the lead up to the try. By the way, two superb pieces of play from Sam Barlow. One off the tap with that offload to Armstrong, and another in scoring the try itself. The short kick-off attempted. Oh, it's just too long again.
Even with one man down, though, they still need to defend that player better. Sam Barlow's got good footwork for the big man. He skips to the outside, and it's a one-on-one tackle. That's what he's missed.
It was the shape that Leigh had. Leigh had, I guess, they carried the full-back over. That's the extra man in attack, as we know. Great attacking shape. Cross this left hand.
But they've got the same numbers, John.
Yes, I know, but it's the perception, isn't it, that you've got players out there that are ready to run with the ball. We've seen how they can link the passes together between Brealey and Ridyard. 20 metres and a single pass is not a problem for them. And the temptation there to try and cover that ground with one less person has undone them in the end.
Well, revenge will be sweet for the Leigh Centurions. For the last 3 years, they've been beaten by Featherstone in playoff football. They lost at Featherstone last season, and they were beaten by them in 2012 and 2011 on all 3 occasions pretty comfortably. But Centurions have it in them in the last 8 minutes of this game to turn this into a comfortable win. Oh, Sam Barlow's got a bang in the ribs there, or a bang in something or somewhere.
Well, he's got 8 minutes, Bill, and he can have a bit of a breather then. He can take that into the off-season with him. What Featherstone got left? What's left in the tank for them?
In fact, Sam Barlow is having to leave the fields. Just out of your picture, he's just gone straight to the sidelines, so it's obviously not something he's going to be able to run off. Oh, and almost an interception chance for Ryan Brierley.
And there's a problem with Matt Sarsfield as well. He's just fell down, whether he's got cramp.
Not sure what the need was for the intercept attempt there from Brealey, except the obvious that he thought he was going to run 70 metres and score, because that right edge defence for the Centurions have done very well in numbering up and accounting for their own men.
He's a poacher, John. He's looking for that ball. He's looking to score off every opportunity.
Yeah, if it's in you, it's in you, isn't it? I suppose that's the...
Well, still down Matt Sarsfield.
Well, Ryan Brierley is a try machine. He's got 42 tries already this season, Brierley. 5 against Barrow, 3 other hat-tricks so far this season.
He's not just a scorer, he's obviously a creator as well. A half-back who likes to go at the line.
But it's Featherstone Rovers trying to go at the line here now. Stray passes picked up by Sharp. Cording.
Oh, good defence, Michael
Great defence.
Well, great defence from Leigh in the end, but a little bit of inventiveness from this Featherstone side. The bouncing ball is the best trick in the coaching manual, because everybody stops dead. But it was good reaction. What strength to get the player off the island from Michael Platt, who's had a wonderful game.
Michael Platt preparing for life after rugby league. He's learning how to be a VT technician with our Sky Sports crew.
Yep, boring us to death in the trucks.
With his exploits.
Has he been working hard enough, do you think?
Oh, a hard-working bunch.
Hard-working or hardly working.
Listen, he made a very good read there, and great game awareness, knows how much time's left on the clock, where they are on the field, and executed on a fellow Super League, ex-Super League player in Cording to take him over the sideline. Featherstone, they've still got some fight left in them, but the clock very much against them.
Here's Jake Emmett. Well, Leigh rounding off what has been a sensational season for the Centurions. 10 years after, as Barry said, 2004, when they beat Whitehaven, then 1 promotion to Super League. No promotion to Super League this time for the Centurions, but a statement of intent from a club that's determined to make it to Super League, and the new structure will give them that opportunity, and they will be one of the teams to threaten when things get going in 2015.
Well, they take this winning formula, they take the side up next year as champions. It's been an absolutely tremendous year, led by that man, Bob Bezic. You've got so many talented players in the Leigh ranks, and he's built a very good side, hasn't he, Paul?
He is a special player, Bob Bezic. Just a mention of him, he's got a good kicking game.
As we said in the build-up to this game, he's got a real good technique of picking the ball up, engaging the markers, threading his players through holes, a lot like a certain Paul Rowley when he was in his pomp.
Wasn't he a good hooker in his time as well? He had some pace around the play of the ball. Electric first 5 yards.
And a very astute coach as well, Paul Rowley.
He's got his dream job. He's a local lad, he's played for the club, he's now coached them to success in the final.
Featherstone put the ball down. They've got their own plans, said Featherstone. We talked about the groundwork that's going on, and Andy Hay is looking for new players as Paul Rowley comes down to the sidelines, ready for the celebrations. The Featherstone supporters, many of them staying to salute their side after a season which has seen them finish second, and that's been very lucrative for Andy Hay and the club. They can do a lot with the money they've taken from that.
Well, sometimes things go against you, and you've just got to dust yourself down. Andy Hay knows that it's not his day today, John, but I'm sure that they'll be back stronger next year.
He's an intelligent man, is Andy, and he's patient as well. Don't forget, I mean, you could make the case that Featherstone have, they've done well to get here, given that the last 12 months they've had the departure of Darryl Powell and key player in Liam Finn. They've been through 3 or 4 coaches, interim positions. John Bastian left after 11 games, and Andy Hay's come in, signed a different policy adopted towards dual registration.
Danny Evans was there for a spell as well. Liam Kay. Penalty. Leigh Centurions. Andy Ellis just desperately trying to stop Liam Kay's progress there.
Well, there we go. For how long, Bill? Leigh Centurion's going to round off a wonderful night for the club. End the season with another try.
Oh, are they going to go for goal? Are we going to get one of those crazy kicks for goals now? Who's retiring? Who's retiring? Let's have a look who's lining it up. I'd love to see, I know he's not retiring, but I'd love to see Ollie Wilkes have a crack. He's greedy, Ridyard. Let one of the big lads have a go. Did you ever kick a goal, Tess?
Yes, in training.
Ridyard, who's missed just one so far tonight, doesn't miss with that. Into the ranks of Centurion supporters, and it's a great turnout from Leigh for a Sunday night. And they've got something to celebrate again, in a season of celebration, really, for the Leigh Centurions.
Well, the night, the season, it all belongs to the Leigh Centurions. What a fabulous year they have had this season.
Championship Grand Final score to Leigh Centurions 32, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Haggerty claims that ball from the restart. 32-12 into the last couple of minutes. But Featherstone certainly have made Leigh work hard in this second half after a disappointing first half for the West Yorkshire side. They came out in the second half and have really, for most of it, had Leigh well working and thinking that it wasn't going to be quite as comfortable as it had looked. But in the end, they've done what they've done to so many other sides, apart from Doncaster this season. Just the one defeat. How much will that annoy them? One defeat in the Championship.
I think they'll take it, Bill. Just in terms of Featherstone, it hasn't gone nowhere, but a special mention to Jack Bussett, who I think has had a real dig. Came on the pitch, ran hard, looked to try and create things when they perhaps weren't there. Jack Bussett, I think, was the best player in a Featherstone shirt.
Platt, lovely pass, finds Higson. Ball back on the inside, and Ryan Briley, well, he wasn't going to be denied. He gets his 43rd try of the season to round off a magical campaign for Paul Rowley and his men. 43 tries, and number 43 puts the lid on a grand final victory.
You don't see many players playing with this much confidence. Again, at the line, they've got the numbers, but it's the big pass out to Michael Platt, who then it's just a little flick pass, and Briley's there in support. Ridyard, Briley, Platt. Big influences in this game.
And when we were watching the Leigh Centurions players warm up, me and John noticed the amount of flick passes that they were throwing. Maybe we thought it was overconfidence, but no sirree, they've turned up, they've delivered it on the big stage, and Ryan Briley was the recipient of a little piece of skill, as we say, from Michael Platt, provided the pass from Adam Hickson. Ridyard misses with that conversion, but it's the last kick of the game. Michael Platt will no doubt be asking his colleagues in our VT department to make sure that that pass goes in the highlights reel. What a win, what a way to end the season for the Leigh Centurions. Emphatic victors in the end in this grand final. There's their coach, Paul Rowley. He's with Graham.
Well, Paul, describe your sensation right at this moment.
It's good reward. I was nervous today, you know, so it's just good for the boys over there. Look at the fans, you can see the fans behind me. Sea of red and white, you know, we do our town proud, and I'm so proud of everybody, the fans, the players. We've had so many good wishes from people, the town, you know, in and around the town, from other towns. Chris from Halifax, everybody all over the place was wishing us well today, so I'm glad we've repaid the faith and the goodwill.
Just one defeat in terms of league football this season. You had a great game here against Leeds. You must be delighted with the effort that your players have put in and the way they've taken on board the things that you've asked them to do.
Oh, they've been great since day one. It's been really hard. You know, it sounds like we've been really dominant and everything, but we've had some tough times. We've had to battle through some adversity at times as well. But like you said, the boys have been they've reacted brilliantly to everything all year. Been supportive. We're a family, you know, and we're a close-knit. It's a memory we've made tonight, another one in a memorable season. We couldn't wish to do it with a better bunch of people, staff, club, players. I'm just happy for everybody.
It's a great moment now. You know, there's been some speculation, let's be honest, that, you know, other clubs are interested in you, and no doubt they've looked at some of the players here as well, and they might be thinking, oh, we might cherry-pick one of these two. How do you see the future immediately?
Well, the future's red and white. Obviously, you know, I brought these players here. We've created a team, a young team, and we've got a good future together. And that's how I see the future, together. This group of people and myself together for the future with Leigh.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Many congratulations. Thank you, Paul. Oliver Wilkes is here, the skipper. Oliver, congratulations. Great moment for the club. How would you describe what you've done this season?
It's been fantastic, hasn't it? We've, you know, to lose only 2 games, obviously once against Leeds and then Doncaster, but it's just been a fantastic effort from everybody involved at the club, right up from the director level, Derek Beaumont, all the way down to the young academy lads coming through. It's just been fantastic, and it's a lot of hard work, and it's paid off tonight.
Featherstone pushed you hard. You had to show both sides of your game here. It did show both sides of your game. Great expansive first half. Second half, you really had to dig in at times.
Yeah, they made us work really hard in the second half. I don't think the penalty count helped though. I think it was 10-1. But, you know, we dug deep and we worked really hard for each other, and that's what we've done all year. You know, we ground out the win in the second half. It was a good, solid performance from all the boys.
What has Paul Rowley, the coach, given to you and the other players and given to the squad as a whole?
Well, he's inspired us pretty well, you know. He's worked really hard on the other teams that we've been playing against and put a lot of processes in place that we've stuck to and worked hard at week in, week out. You know, and we've reaped the rewards this year.
So what's the plans for tonight?
Oh, there's going to be a few celebrations, I would have thought.
I would have thought so. You can go and join your teammates. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you.
Well, he played in the 2004 Grand Final. Leigh Centurions won on that occasion, beating Whitehaven, and were promoted to Super League. There's no promotion this year, but this is a team that in 2015 will worry many in the championship and will be one of the favourites for a 2016 Super League berth. Bob Beswick's played his role, his 6th Grand Final appearance in total. What a performance from the Leigh Centurions. What a year from the Leigh Centurions. As Paul Rowley has said, the players have done themselves proud, they've done the club proud, and importantly, they've done the town proud as well. Rowley has as well played a huge part in that. Assemble a squad that will now be a realistic chance of shooting for promotion next year. Start to finish, they did have a lot thrown at them by Featherstone Rovers, especially at the start of that second half. Michael Platt's seen a lot in his career. This will be a special time for him as well. Featherstone Rovers, they did their part. They brought a huge contingent here to Headingley Carnegie Stadium. And in that second half, they did absolutely everything they could to drag themselves back into the game. A Will Sharp try on 50 minutes looked like it might give them a hope. The Leigh Centurions proved too good in the end. What a special time, Barry and Terry, for this Leigh, this famous old club.
I think Ollie Wilkes put it spot on. He's talked about the team spirit, he's talked about the structure, the infrastructure, the plans, the future. But I also wouldn't like to rob a bank with him, because he's more or less told everybody he's going out on the lash.
Well, the ability that they've got, the ability that they've got within the side, and when you got them like Paul Rowley, he knows what the end of picture is supposed to look like. He's got to get those jigsaw pieces, put them together, assemble a side, and as he quite rightly said, it's a young side. It's a young side that have achieved so much. They play with confidence, and they've been fabulous, Brian, this year.
Guys, we've covered a lot of Super League games this year. I'm looking at Ryan Brierley in that game and thinking, yes, that guy's got it well within himself to play in Super League.
Oh, without too much of an addition either, without too much work. He's got the pace, he's got the power, he's got that instinct. Obviously, we looked at his pass. They were.
You call the one from dummy half. It was.
You know, they were startling how accurate they were, how straight. To throw a 20-metre spin pass in a straight line in a fraction of the time that it would take to do it any other way, and he's got a right combination with Martin Ridier, who's a nice rugged player who gives him that correct foil.
Well, the Featherstone Rovers side finished second in the league, Terry. They've had turmoil off the field this season, but they should be proud of the performance they put in there today. They were just up against the better side.
They were, Brian. Tim Spears leading his troops up, and yeah, they shouldn't be too disappointed. They got themselves back in that game in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, but it wasn't to be. It was just the class, the confidence. And Ryan Brierley, we talked about him, or you talked about him, Brian, earlier on, saying about that he got in touch with Cooper Cronk. He's in control of his own destiny. He's gone to the best player there and said to him, teach me.
There's a lot in that, Terry,
teach me how to play. That's unbelievable, that someone's took it upon themselves to go and learn from the best. That shows what it means to him.
Again, if anybody wasn't there for the start when we first told the story, last year at the World Cup, he contacted the media manager from the Australian side, asked if he could meet Cooper Cronk. The Australian media manager did a lot more than that. He had invited Ryan Brierley over to a training session. Himself and Cooper Cronk got on well. Cronk brought him down onto the field, gave him a one-on-one session, and Brierley has said throughout the year he's had congratulations from Cooper Cronk when he won the championship Young Player of the Year, and text to tell him how he can improve his game. He has. Well, the trophy will soon be presented by RFL chairman Brian Barwick and the managing director of Kingston Press Cider, Gordon John Cox, to the victorious captain of the Leigh Centurions, Oliver Wilkes. What a special occasion, and they did it in style.
They did. They played some good stuff, and I think Featherstone, after half-time, had probably sat down in the changing room and said, look, we need to control this big pack that Leigh have got, and creating that platform for the likes of Ridyard and Brierley. I thought Greg McNally, Liam Kay, when he was coming and returning the ball, they were starting the platform. Martin Ridyard, Ryan Brierley, fantastic day for those two players in particular.
Sorry about it. I've said on a number of occasions, I can't believe how nobody's picked up Martin Ridyard over the years to give him an opportunity in Super League. Well, I'm sure
Castleford did, you know, he began at Castleford.
Yes, but since he's been playing at Leigh, he's matured into a player, and I'm sure that Paul Rowley now, he's part of the plans. He's a part of the plans for the
We're
future.
not trying to get rid of these players from Leigh, because Leigh can realistically build for a tilted Super League.
Yes.
But Ridyard and Brierley, when I look at what Liam Finn did when he stepped up from the Championship to play for Castleford Tigers, if they can hold on to them, Leigh Centurions, hold on to Martin Ridyard, the man of the match, holding the trophy aloft now, and hold on to Ryan Brierley, they could be a threat if they do make it into Super League.
You can build a team around them. You've seen what Melbourne have done over in Australia when they've had key players in key positions playing very well. And what they've got, Leigh Centurions, they've got Greg McNally, they've got Ridyard, they've got Brierley, they've got Bezic, and they've got Penkovic. 5 exciting players.
43 tries in the season for Brierley. That's quite a return. He's a special talent. He's the kind of man that will bring young fans to watch the Leigh Centurions play.
43 tries, they didn't score half that in 17 years. And he's done it in 1 year.
Yeah, quite a combination. Oh, there's the man who put it all together. The players have all referenced him, the coach, what he's done, the family atmosphere he's created at the club amongst the players. You wouldn't want to face them next year if you're the Bradford Bulls, the London Broncos dropping down out of Super League.
They're tough, they play tough in the middle, they've got pace, they've got power, they've got the smarts in the half-backs. And as we say, you've nothing but admiration for the team in general, for Leigh as a club, and Leigh as a town.
Well, we can hear from one of the Chargers now. Man of the match, Martin Ridyard, is with Graham Beecroft.
Well, Martin, you're the man of the match. Many congratulations. Great performance. You had to show both sides of your game, though. You were great in the first half and then had to really dig in the second.
Yeah, definitely. We knew exactly what Featherstone are all about. We knew they'd come out, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves in that second half. I think we defended about 9 or 10 sets, but a lot of character got us through, and I think I'm just accepting this as a team performance. I don't think I personally should be getting it. I mean, if you could give 17-minute matches, I would give them all out, so I'll just accept this on behalf of the team, really.
It's been a fantastic level of consistency all season. How have you managed to produce that week in, week out?
Really, we just started from day one. We never looked too far ahead. If it was Keighley away or at home, we just concentrated on that game. And then the next week and so on, and we never looked too far ahead. We just took each week by week, and seems to be going good.
Well done. Go and enjoy the celebrations. Thanks for joining us.
An absolutely brilliant day for that man. As the championship builds to a conclusion next year, we will be covering plenty of games on Sky Sports, and I'm imagining that the Leigh Centurions will feature heavily in those games, joining his teammates. And that, as you said, in the Hunslet game is what it's all about, boys.
That's why you play sport, and you know, for teams that go on and they are successful in the seasons, they have to raise their game every week because people want to beat them. People want to beat them, they raise, and the challenge is being at your best every time you step onto the field.
When people talk to ex-players and they ask you what you miss about the game, and if you could have a moment back, what would you have? I'd have another minute of that. That's what I'd wish for.
Just jumping around with them, but not taking the ball up.
Benched insider, we can sort that out.
Cup in hand. You know, celebrations with your mates, singing the club song. You see Paul Rowley on the right. He's absolutely loving it, clapping along, singing the club song. Fantastic times.
And your crowd all behind you. A huge contingent. We said it before the game, they've travelled so well, the Leigh Centurions fans. What a historic club they've had. They've been starved of success. This is their first grand final appearance in a decade, and they have gone and won it.
Well, they deserve to be followed. They play attractive rugby. We saw from the width of the players that they come up with, they can get to the other side of the field from one side to the other in 3 passes, whether they're coming away from their own try line, whether they're playing up the other end of the park. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. They've deserved that. All the hard work goes back, the little things that they've done right the way through the year. And what Paul Rowley, the man who's holding the trophy up there, he's put together.
Well, Graham Beecroft posed the question, Terry, would he be going anywhere, Paul Rowley, to another Super League club? No chance.
Future's red and white, and why wouldn't you? And while we're on the subject of the day and the experience, hasn't it been a good advert for Championship 1? We saw a fabulous game between Hunslet and Oldham. West Hull and East Leeds had a great game before that, so it's been a good advert for the game.
Well, a brilliant double-header of Rugby League on Grand Final Sunday, and the live sport continues on Sky Sports. It's New York Jets at the San Diego Chargers. That's next on Sky Sports 2. And then in La Liga, Real Madrid against Athletic Bilbao on Sky Sports 5. Next Saturday, set this date in your diary. St. Helens will be playing in Nathan Brown's last game in charge of the club against their old rivals, the Wigan Warriors. That's 5 p.m, Sky Sports 1, live from Old Trafford. Well, this party continues here at Headingley Carnegie. It will continue late into the night in the town of Leigh as this proud Rugby League club comes away with a championship trophy in what has been for them a most magical of seasons. My thanks to Barry McDermott and Terry O'Connor. Congratulations to Hunslet Hawks and Leigh Centurions.
Match.com. Join and download the app today.
When my van's off the road, I'm not working. So what am I gonna do?
His van's off the road, he's not working.
So it's time he got something new.
Vanarama.
Vanarama, they're the ones to
With amazing deals like this new Peugeot Bipper from just £117 per month.
They're the ones you need to call.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide? No escape from reality. Open your eyes. Look up to the skies and see.
Discover your smile. Thompson, Adult Protected.
We're the little bit furthers, to stay a little longers. We hear that voice that tells us to stop. And we tell it where to go, because we're the determined, the hydrated, the fueled, the ones who give it all. Because when you give it all, you get it all. Lucozade Sport, the fuel to rule.
You're watching Sky Sports 1, your home of football.
constantly monitored for threats, outside and in. That's why HP reports and helps neutralize more intrusions than anyone else in the world. If HP's security solutions can help keep the world's largest organizations safe, they can keep yours safe too. Make it matter.
Let's just keep this between you and me.
Get 2 for 1 on hearing aids at Boots. Let's feel good.
Confectionery tubs. Morrison's £5 each. Asda, £4 each. Keep it under wraps. You're better off at Asda.
Lizard Lick Towing's back for a brand new series on Dave. This is awkward. Apparently the trailer for brand new Lizard Lick Towing's been repossessed, but you know what to expect. Hey you, give me that motorcycle. I ain't giving you this.
With your quiff. If you even have a quiff.
Alpen sponsors characters on Dave.
Character is never losing your sock. For one sock is no socks at all.
Alpen sponsors characters on Dave.
They were the original Special Forces, an ancient group of Black Ops. We look at the history of those first elite forces and how they fared in battle. Ancient Black Ops, Wednesdays at 10, new and exclusive to yesterday.
I'm the very best in the world at what I do.
Dedication. I hate losing. Devotion. I've given up everything. Determination. A new obsession is gripping the men of America.
Yes, it's arm wrestling, surprisingly. Ready to go! So that's what that was all about. Arm wrestling. Fair enough, it is the best arm wrestling show we've ever had. Game of Arms, a new series about arm wrestling. Starts Thursday at 8 on Dave.
Now it's time for the only panel show you need to wear a gum shield and a jock strap to survive. It's Mock the Week.
Alpen sponsors character.
As the verdicts are read out, an emotional Jackson reached for a tissue. You'd really think he'd have found a more tactful way of celebrating. This week, George Bush welcomed the leaders of Ghana, Niger, Botswana, Mozambique and Namibia to the White House, although there was an awkward moment when he said, "Hey you, those lawns won't mow themselves, you know." The US claim they can't afford more money for Africa, as all the spare cash has been allocated to the defence budget by George Bush to guard against a very real threat from North Korea, Iran and, of course, the Sith. Joining me tonight to work their way through a series of satirical games are 6 of the country's finest comedy performers. John Oliver, Rory Bremner and Al Murray, Joe Brand, Hugh Dennis and Frankie Boyle. Welcome to you all. Let's kick off with a round called Headliners. I show the teams a photo of someone who's been making the news this week, along with the initial letters of a newspaper headline. The teams have to tell me what the letters stand for. Here's a picture of Michael Jackson, but what does JFNG stand for?
Is it Jackson's face needs grouting?
Jackson finds nose gone, possibly.
Juvenile fears now grow? Jury found in Neverland Garden.
Jackson found near Grimsby. He's starting a new life. Starting a new life in Grimsby, or Grimethorpe, possibly, where he decided to join the Colliery Band. Because he likes being near miners.
You know, he's now set up a website and a wristband that says "Make Puberty History."
That's just for legal reasons. He was found innocent, by the way.
No.
Yeah, we're not disputing that, are we?
No, I think what they meant was not guilty enough.
Did you see the bit after the verdict came out when the announcer on the BBC went, "At least Jackson can now get back to living a normal life." as he rides out of the courtroom on a talking gorilla. Oh, it's back to normality.
But I was hoping that he'd be found guilty just so that you could see people outside with those banners saying "I love Michael" just gradually and awkwardly putting them down. I'll leave that there.
Slowly taking off the one white glove. Get off. Damn, it's stuck on my hand. Can't do it.
It seemed to all come down to that one juror that said, "Oh, I just didn't like the way that the mother of the boy clicked her fingers at me."
Oh, yeah.
That's not enough.
And he would have actually been found guilty if he was black, I reckon.
I'll give you a clue. The J stands for Jackson.
Is it found not guilty?
Yes, it is, of course. The action is Jackson found not guilty. Well done, Hugh. Give him an applause. It is, of course, referring to the news that Michael Jackson has been found innocent of the child abuse charges levelled against him. After the verdict, a tear ran down his cheek. Actually, after the verdict, a tear ran down his cheek. After the verdict, Michael Jackson likened himself to the Berlin Wall on his website. Well,